Hello and welcome to the Midweek Spotlight. I have with me our starting goaltender, Patrick Killeen. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Much appreciated. So we're going to have a wee look back at the weekend. A crazy up and down weekend. Loads of emotions going on at the moment, and we'll have a little look forward. First and foremost, it started off on Saturday with a fantastic result against Fife Flyers. I mean, the games, they speak for themselves, and everyone talks about the kind of atmosphere for those games. They are great fun, fantastic, but especially with a result like that. Can you tell us the thoughts kind of heading into that game? It was a big one with Matt Becca coming back.
Yeah, I think everyone was pretty excited to see Bex in the dressing room, 2 hours before the game.
He's been doing all right on the bench though, hasn't he? His record as an assistant coach is
he's
pretty
done
good.
A great job on the bench. He has a very analytical mind, actually, and he's good at picking apart the games. I think he helps out a lot with that too, but he was a big boost for us, I think, coming into the room there, and the guys were excited. And obviously, he goes out there and has a pretty incredible tip, really early in the first period, which I think sets the tone for that game. And obviously, the fans were incredible that game. It was close to a sellout. It was loud, and then the Fife fans are there too. And to be able to start like that, especially when it's him coming back, that's a good feeling for everyone.
I don't think I realised how good his goal was. I was on the other side of the arena, and you see it, and you can tell it's like a great tip. But when you see like the replay of it as well, and you go like, "Oh my word!" Like between the legs, aerial tip to direct that goal. Where sometimes a lot of tips kind of look more luck than charm, but you're like, "That's the right positioning," and he knows it. It looks just a great comeback goal, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea what had happened. I saw the shot come from the point, and I was just looking on net trying to find the puck, and then suddenly it was off the crossbar and in. And I saw him celebrate, and then I watched the highlights, and obviously it was a pretty incredible goal.
It's just so quick into the game as like just as soon as it starts, like what a comeback straight in.
Absolutely.
And that kind of set the tone for the goals that were being scored in that game. I mean, obviously it went on to be a great result. Five Flyers coming back into it, showing great determination. This team never seems too down when it's behind. There's always a fight back there, and that was no different in that game.
Yeah, I think it's hard to put it into words, and it's almost this unspoken thing we have in the room because we never talk about it or bring it up. It's just the culture in the dressing room right now is one where we can be up by 2 goals or down by 2 goals, and we never feel like we're going to lose the game. And I think you see that a lot in the third period where we can be down by a goal or even down by 2 goals, and we start taking it to them a little bit, get a goal, get another goal, and the confidence level's there. We're still trying to make plays. We're not trying to play any differently regardless of the score, and I think that's a really important thing to have as the season goes on. Yeah,
no, it was great to see, and the standard of those goals that were scored in that game in particular was unreal. I'm remembering obviously Chad Rowe's goal as well, and Laporte's goal as well. They were just something really, really exciting goals to kind of see, but showing a mixture of what this team can produce offensively.
Yeah, I mean, we're very dangerous offensively. We have tons of skill. I have to face it in practice every day, so I know firsthand how talented these guys are, and I think it goes a little bit further when they score goals like that in terms of the momentum shift, in terms of getting the guys going. I think we had a good goal to tie it up from the point, and then Portsy drags it in the center and makes it look easy. It was an incredible shot, and Rousey pulls it between a guy's leg and it goes high glove. It's it's incredible stuff. So. That kind of stuff gets the guys going, and then Springs just puts little icing on the cake, scoring from his back in his own end. And
I'm not even sure how he managed to get that shot away. I mean, obviously you're getting a bit of luck on it, but fantastic effort.
Yeah, it looked great, and I mean that's a great little exclamation point on a good game.
And a man of the match performance from him as well that game as well. He was absolutely on fire that night, and he's been a really big part of the character of this team, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's been great for us. I think coming from the situation he was in the past couple of years where he might be leaned on more as a physical presence, and he's a hockey player. You can play hockey. He's very reliable defensively. You can chip in offensively, and he's a great guy to have in the dressing room, a great guy to have on the ice.
We have a lot of firepower coming out of the D this season. I mean, even looking at that game itself, so obviously Matt Pafal scored a goal there as well. Last night we've got Travis Earhart. You mentioned Springer scoring there. There's goals coming from all over that D. It really is great to see that, isn't it? But a team needs to defend as a team when you've got that much offense coming from D, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we have nights where we fall short of that. The team defense, I think Coventry was an example of that. But
I was just coming to that.
I think for the vast majority of the games we've played, we come together really well as a unit. The D-men should be playing offense. They should be chipping in. That's what they do, and they're very, very skilled. We have 6 defensemen that are all capable of scoring goals, carrying the puck off the ice. And then, the forwards back check hard and we clear in front of our net. And, when we do it the right way, it's a dangerous way to play.
Well, let's look at that then. Let's talk about that Coventry game then as well. It was a bit of a surprise. The team's been playing so well, and there's folk around like, gosh, what happened there? From your perspective, what was the difference in that performance that night? What was the key things that didn't kind of go well?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, obviously it just wasn't our best game. I thought the effort was there. It was just kind of the perfect storm. Guys were, the effort was there. We prepared the same way we do every night, and sometimes, that's the nature of hockey. We didn't play great. We got a lot of bad bounces on top of that. It seemed like every time we made a good play, it would be a bad bounce that ended up on their stick. And, defensively, we'd break up a pass and it would end up on their stick for an empty net. And it's just, you have a short memory. You kind of, you feel it. It sucks, but short memory and get back into the weekend.
Yeah, because Coventry are quite a similar team to Dundee in the style that they've got, that quite quick counter-attacking style. They've got some very skilled players who take their chances when they get them, even if they're not presented with a lot of them, and that really kind of was a sting in the tail. Obviously Clan hit the pipe twice as well. When you look back at it, it's all those little things add up to quite a surprising scoreline, but I guess, as they say, that's hockey. Yeah,
that's just the nature of the sport. I mean, they're very clinical in the way they play. They crowd their net really well. They try and keep everything to the outside, but they're happy to play in their own end for 80% of the game. And when they get their odd man rushes, they have a lot of speed, they have a lot of skill, and it's tough to play against teams like that.
Yeah, and when you're a goalie and you see scorelines like that, surely you must know that your team's going to drive forward. You've got these offensive D-men, they want to score as well. The forwards want to help get this team. That's the mindset. You must be thinking, I'm going to be exposed here. Do you mentally get yourself a bit more ready for that? Do you kind of feel it coming, or just have to take it as it comes?
I think the only way to do it as a goalie is to just take it as it comes. You can't really get into your own head and try and prepare for something that might not happen. You
wouldn't change up your play. You're very offensive yourself as well. If you see that puck going, you don't mind doing that race to get there first and do that poke check. So you've got to have that belief. But I guess those opportunities might become more apparent. Are you a little bit more on your toes?
I wouldn't even say that. No, I just try and stay essentially emotionless throughout a game, and just try and just make rational decisions, give myself the best chance to make the save. In games like that, you're going to need to make a big save or two, which is the job, and I enjoy doing that. So no, I mean, I thought it's just the way that games can go sometimes. You're going to win games, you're going to lose games. You play long enough, you're going to lose a lot of games badly. It's just part of the sport.
It also gave an opportunity for young Gerry McLaughlin to come out and show what he can do. He's got some elite league experience. He did that with the Edinburgh Capitals. Big up the McLaughlins, obviously. But it was great to see him get an opportunity there, and he actually looked like a very calm and mature head. Like I said, it's not his first elite league experience, but it is still fresh for him as well, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, he's a very talented goalie. He's very good in practice. I was happy to see him get in there and play well. He made some really, really solid saves for us. The goals he let in were just not much of a chance on those, just some good goals and some bad bounces. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I think every team needs to have two good goalies. I think he pushes me to be better. I think when he gets in there, he's going to give us a chance to win, and that's really important over the course of a long season.
Because the team's been very lucky to have a really great backup in Gary Russell, who's really, really popular. The team obviously still connected in the two he was always Sharks, but to have a young Scottish kid like Gerry McLaughlin coming along is really great for the team to see, and obviously really good for you to know that there's someone there as well who's capable and up and coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said before, having a guy in practice that's good and that works hard, that pushes you to be better regardless of what the dynamic is. He's a guy that when he plays, he'll play well for us, and over the course of 50-60 games, you need both goalies to get wins, and I think he's capable of doing that, so it's great to have him.
Well, and obviously it was important then after a game like that where he's come in, the team needs a bounce back. Everyone talks about a bounce back after a defeat, but you need a particularly strong one. It couldn't have been any stronger a bounce back than what happened on Wednesday night here at Braehead Arena. What a fantastic result against traditionally one of the most powerful teams in the league. Was there a difference in the mindset for the team coming in? I know you said everyone's trying to keep things level, but surely after a result like that, there must have been a bit between the teeth. I'm
sure there was a little bit of a little bit of nerves that game, probably some butterflies. It was a big TV game. We knew it was going to be a lot of fans. It is hard to come back from those types of losses. It's not as easy as it might seem sometimes. It's a mental struggle, and I think guys were great about it. We came into the room prepared the same way as always, but guys were loose, guys were having fun, guys were doing their thing. And I think right away, as soon as the puck dropped in the first period, I was like, okay, we're going to be okay. This is a good night. And that was exactly how it played out. They played a great game too. it was fair play to them. They didn't have a bad night or anything. They played great, and I thought we were right there to answer them. We played really, really well defensively. They made my night quite easy, and then we scored some huge goals.
Do you know they're a big physical team, Cardiff? Just looking at it from the ice, we knew they were big, but you see like the size of that team across their forward line. Yeah. They're very big, they're very physical, they're finishing their checks, they were really making it a hard fought game. And usually with that tactic you're trying to wear D-men down and stuff like that, but that didn't seem to have any effect on the Clan players. That physical game, they seemed to kind of rise to match that and then play their own game still.
Yeah, I mean, our D are so mobile and they're so good at getting loose and getting out of checks, and they make it look so easy. Like, we call Matt Poufall the Swan because he can just glide around the ice and just, he makes it look easy, which it's not easy at all.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw Springer out deke Lingley as well at one point, which shows you the kind of level of confidence that's going on as well. I wouldn't have expected him to give that a go.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that's what happens when everyone's feeling good. Is you have to go out there and try and make plays. It's actually worse to sit back and try not to make mistakes. When you try to not make mistakes, you end up probably making more. So when you take calculated risks and play the game the way you want to play and dictate it that way, then usually it works out better.
Well, it was great to see. It was a great result as well, and Clan fans will be hoping for something very similar this weekend. So over in Fife again this Saturday. What's your expectations going to be? You've obviously played there already. Is it a game that guys particularly relish? Then the rivalry is obviously very well established now. Is that a game that they look forward to, or is it a little bit daunting sometimes? You're like, is there a little bit of an intake of breath going, this is going to be another tough one?
I think we know it's going to be a tough game. They're a very good team, and with the rivalry there, it just adds that whole new level of competitiveness. And it's a very difficult rink to play in. Obviously, I played there last year as well, but it's a whole new beast when you come with Glasgow. When you come from another team, it's completely different. But it is a very enjoyable game because of that. Those are the games that you want to play, and those are the games you want to win, and that they're the most rewarding games. So I think it's just going to be the same preparation as always. We had a solid game on Wednesday, so the preparation is going to be the same. We'll look at their stuff and try and just move forward. Yeah,
and the Fife fans will be looking for a response, of course, from the game here. But another exciting game is going to be Sunday, back here against the Sheffield Steelers. Yeah. When you look at games that you want to judge the team, where we top of the league at the moment after that game on Wednesday, fantastic. If you want to stay there, you need points in games like this at home against top teams like Sheffield Steelers. Yeah,
I mean, that's another measuring stick. They're a great team. They're very, very talented offensively. Good defense, good goaltending. They're never easy to beat. There's never any easy games against them. But again, like I said about Fife, those challenging games are the ones that are the most rewarding. They're the most fun to play in, especially at home. It's great to play them at home. It's a nice little advantage here with our fans. I think the guys are excited for that. I think it's going to be a good weekend, and hopefully, we want to get 4 points. We want to stay on top of the league, and these are the types of weekends where you have to make statements.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fans are obviously enjoying it as well. I think as of today, there's like 1,000 tickets already sold for that game as well, and on top of the season ticket holders, that's already a great attendance. So make sure you go and get your tickets for that if you're coming down to that one. Two things before we finish up I want to pick you up on. One, I've heard that you've kind of got a bit of a nickname yourself, and then more of a, I don't know if it is a nickname, but the guys are saying, in practice you're saving too many shots, and the rumour is that just after you finish practice you turn back into a smart car and just drive away. Is that true? The guy's calling you a smart car?
I thought they were calling me Megatron.
Megatron's actually like a transformer.
I don't know about smart car, but Megatron, I definitely get that every now and then.
We should do that. We should try and get one of the Clan cars out on the ice and see if anyone notices, and just dress it in your jersey and see if anyone does it. The second thing I wanted to pick up on, I know I've been mentioning this to you early in the season, but I was wanting to see if Killer was up for potentially doing a goalie exchange with a local football team. Partick Thistle have agreed to do a goaltender exchange, so you'll be going out onto the pitch at half time and trying to save some penalties against the Partick Thistle strikers, and we'll also be having the Partick Thistle goalie out on the ice here at Braehead Arena to try and save some shots. I'm going to maybe try and get Peter, Clan's all-time top goal scorer. So you up for a wee challenge like that? Have you ever played in net in other sports before?
I actually played goalie in football when I was maybe 13.
Perfect. That's all you need.
About the 5th or 6th level of competitive football in Canada, which puts it at a level of probably like preschool here in the UK.
Wow, so, okay. Well, that's going to be interesting to see if Partick Thistle's goalie have got anything similar like that. If he skated to, an Olympic level, something like that, that could be good.
You never know, but it's going to be fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think I'll probably need some pointers and see if they can find size 14 cleats or something, and try and give it my best.
Well, there you've got it. We're going to get those dates out there. So at the moment, we'll get the dates out confirmed, but it looks like the 11th of December, we'll have Partick Thistle, their squad in, and their goalie out on the ice in the first period. That's the game against Dundee Stars in the Challenge Cup quarter-final, and Clan will be heading over to Partick Thistle, and Killer will be out during the half-time on the 11th of January against Dundee United this time. So we'll see which goalie does better. That's going to be really interesting, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for more information for that. Killer, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Perfect. Get your tickets for Sunday.